super aggressive.
Yes.
And it's one of the maps that you probably like because build orders matter on this map.
100%. 100%. This Blue Lagoon is my favorite map because there's only 2 spawns that you start with. So you only need 2 build orders for this map. There's 3 giraffe, which is you can literally get to the classical age off of 3 giraffe with no problems with every god. And there's 2 giraffe, which takes just that little bit extra amount of forethought to deal with.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I think they're complaining about my voice being too high. I'm gonna change that.
Okay. We should probably just move into the other room so I can just modify your voice, but I don't. It's too much
It
effort.
should be better now. We should be equal now.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Okay, what were we talking about? Build orders on Blue Lagoon?
Build orders on Blue Lagoon, yes. Well, firstly, we got Loki versus Zeus. We got the rematch, Eric versus Matreiuss, where with Rapl and living the dream. But yeah, so we'll talk about build orders from the Zeus perspective here. Against Loki, you basically have to Athena Rush. There's not really any other strategy here with Zeus. You can go Hermes and do an Athena Rush as well, and kind of that's not really done very much, but it can give you some advantage. You don't build any Centaur, you just go Hop Light Toxo, like you're going Athena, and you put early pressure on, and then you have Ceasefire for flame weapons, but it's a little bit really risky, and you're gonna get caught out probably and lose the game. But on this one, 900 food, 402 advance time, full squash mode, and puts pressure on early. Best way to play here because you can easily push off the hunt here. Not really, actually. If the Loki player plays it correctly, they can defend, but it's still a good game for the Zeus.
Yeah. Even if you get pushed off hunt as the Loki player, you can always go for the dwarf economy and stay a little bit on the pigs and the berries while you raid with Herses, so you don't have to worry about losing villagers, and then going out again to try to secure the hunt. At this point, seems like Matreiuss is having a forward gold mine, which is gonna be a disaster.
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging here. I think that the answer for Loki, I see a lot of Loki players doing really early Hall of Fames. Really early Hall of Fames costs 300 wood for a technology. And 300 wood equals roughly 3 and a bit throwing axemen. And in the early game, I think that really, really matters to try and defend not only your gold mine, but your like second hunt. So if you can get yourself, if you just delay that Hall of Thanes for a little bit until things calm down, and you get that Hall of Thanes, and you defend your hunt with the extra longhouse and some throwing axemen coming out, you'll be in a much better position, I reckon.
Yeah, probably yes. But as we can see, that Eric is hunting forward. He had a ton of walking time for his villagers that he's probably not going to age up very fast. But if he manages to defend that hunt, he's gonna build a military academy and an archery range, and then he will have an easier way to Matreiuss' gold mine to go for the rush. But Matreiuss is probably going to push him off hand. And is Eric not aging up? What?
Eric's still not aging up. He's Eric's actually gone for what he's clicked up now, but it's a 445. This is the kind of old Mister build order, which Eric is in love with, which is supposed to be a 430 advance time with 2 granaries, and a little bit more resources. But what ends up happening with this build order is you end up having around about 200 resources excess, and you can't spend it on anything for quite some time. So whenever I see this kind of advance time, I say for the Zeus player, you should invest in either husbandry, pickaxe, hand axe, or Olympic parentage. So one of those 3 technologies to come through to help bolster you a little bit more. Otherwise, you're just going to sit with resources. You'll see Eric floating resources in this classical age, most likely.
Probably. He's hunting on 2 different spots, if I'm seeing correctly. Is it like one in the middle and one on the... Yeah, this is... He's going heavy on the walls. I'm curious to see how... Okay, he's going to open with military academy. And
I mean, I don't particularly like the early walls here from Eric, but I do like the idea of getting fully walled up here at some point, and that will really, really help defend him in this game. If we take a look at the
yeah,
actual map here.
even double walling for Eric. He wants to make sure those hearses do not annoy him at all.
Mm.
At least the hunt on the front is expired for Eric, so he ate all of it. And now we can see Eric moving his villagers. I don't know why he's going that way. It was pretty risky.
He just wants to run straight to that hunt, I think. And he's completely fine here.
Maybe that's why. Let's see. Probably it's gonna be Eric playing defensive. I don't see how he's going, to apply any pressure.
Yeah, the only thing that I see, the only real overall plan here that I see for Eric, is for him to go for a 115 population kind of gold staff here, where he moves out across the map. If I see this, and this is like kind of, obviously I know now after watching what Eric's done now, but if I see this from a Zeus player and they're playing really slow, the best thing to do is to actually move your dwarves out of your base here and go onto a second gold mine and start mining that. Leave the 2,000 gold left in your home base. So when the Zeus player moves out, pushes you off the gold mine, uses restoration, you can just retreat back to your home gold mine and be completely fine.
Oh yeah, sounds interesting. I haven't tried it yet, but
I mean, you have to be thinking about exactly what the Zeus player is trying to do, and just kind of map hacks in a way, because you don't really know as Loki until, I mean, maybe if you spy their stuff.
Yeah, and now Eric didn't spot that there is a gap in that tree line, so he must feel very annoyed to see the hearses harassing his hunters.
There is
almost
go on, sorry.
on population. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a trick you can do when you're walling up to check if there's a gap, and it's don't build the gate straight away, and then just click past the wall. And if your villager walks around, like walks the wrong way, there's a way that doesn't make sense. There's a gap.
Oh yeah, totally. That's a high level trick to do. And now we see two hoplites going down. That's unfortunate for Eric, since he's not playing Hades. He doesn't get any chance to get them back through Hades. And Matreiuss is getting housed. I don't know if you have noticed, he was housed before again, and he's even housed.
Yeah, Zeus is a hard god. Zeus is a hard god.
Anyway. So
I think there's something here that, just as a random idea, I've been thinking about against Loki. So, technically speaking, Hersa are not a counter archer unit. Technically speaking, they're not a counter archer unit. But in terms of their stats, they are a counter archer unit. As soon as an infantry unit has got more speed than the archer, then you look at, after that, you look at, so that could technically be the Ulsark, but then you look at the HP, and if the HP is quite high, then the Hersa starts being actually a counter archer unit as well. It starts becoming like a cavalry. So why not, as Zeus, just go for double barracks here?
Yeah, that's a high level strategy to do. Skadi suggested that to me a long time ago. He told me to not make talk shows, to try to not make talk shows against full Herser Loki. And it's because not only the hoplites are cheaper than a Herser, but they also cost 2 population. So that means in a full population fight, you're gonna win so hard as the Zeus player.
100%, 100%. Because I've been thinking about it I actually did it the other day, in my one win against Gabu, with Uranus, where you open up pure Mermillo against Loki, and then it really, really screws their Hersa advantage in the early game, and it forces out throwing axemen. And then once you see the throwing axemen, you can jump into Terma, or in the Zeus case, you could start making Toxotes at that point.
Yeah, exactly. High IQ strategies here. I like.
Yeah.
Now Matreiuss is going up through Bragi. Those Herses are probably trapped in Eric's base.
Yeah, they can probably sneak out this way.
No, I have no idea. But now Matreiuss is mining gold in the front, if I'm seeing correctly. And Eric is sending a few units. He's going for the hunt, but Matreiuss should have the battle boar and the reinforcements to defend that.
Yeah. Eric here is actually in a good position, but he needs to stop making units. And he needed to stop making units at about 80 population, I would say, and just go to the heroic age for Hypaspist. I don't think he needed to make any more units here.
Yeah, not even the medium infantry is necessary right now. It would be probably to go to the heroic age, make the Hypaspist, make Hercules, have the Hydra as well.
Oh no. You got to go Apollo, because then you can move out on the map, and then once your opponent uses flaming weapons, then you can underworld back to your home base.
Okay, that sounds better.
Use the big brain.
Yeah, I like that. Usually I go bronze against Loki if I'm feeling like the Loki player is about to attack my second gold mine and gold star me. But I guess you can always play with Apollo.
100%. I mean, I think bronze can definitely work as well, especially when you have Hypaspist out, for sure.
Yeah.
But now Eric's used restoration. There's still gonna be flaming weapons remaining here, and Matreiuss is mining from 2 separate gold mines, and he's completely happy and fine with the position he's in right now.
So let's not forget that Matreiuss lost a few Herses trying to raid, but at least he got some villagers.
I mean, it's just classic Loki economy. Always going to be behind on villagers a little bit because he's always making dwarves. Dwarves take 16 seconds. Villagers take 14 seconds. So every, I don't know, 7 dwarves, you get an extra gatherer coming out or villager coming out for your opponent.
And I like the fact that Matreiuss is grabbing that town center. It's gonna give him more population for a better army. And let's not forget that Matreiuss is up to the heroic age. That means his Herses are stronger now. And by default, you don't have to upgrade your Herses. They don't have line upgrades. It's like Sadis and I was gonna say Militia, but you know, Militia actually have the infantry line upgrade that you should take if you want to upgrade them. But Sadis and Loki Herses, usually all the heroes get for free their line upgrades by aging up.
Yeah, but they're not just line upgrades. They're a little bit more than line upgrades. I think you get 15% instead of 10%. I think.
On HP?
Yeah. I could be.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong about that.
I think
I feel like I remember that stat somewhere in my brain.
Oh yeah, probably. And now 5 battle boars are enough to take down Eric's entire base.
Yeah, this is really smart from Matreiuss. What he can do is he can actually pull all of his dwarves back, chuck them onto wood, drop a market down, and this is super silly, but sell the wood for gold, and then once he walks into his opponent's base, he can just clean that up, not lose any villagers, and then move back out onto gold once his opponent comes and defends him.
Yeah, and that's a dead army for Eric. I like the fact that Matreiuss is splitting his army to attack the wood lane at the same time in Eric's base. And 6 battle boars.
Yeah,
I don't see Eric defending that with with the classical age heroes.
He's got himself Olympic parentage though on the Odysseus.
Not gonna matter if Odysseus has pitch damage against the battle boars. It's not gonna matter at all.
Yeah,
this
is a lot of battle boars here for Matreiuss. That town center is going down. I think in this situation, Eric 100% needed to get heroic age here, and calm down on the production in the classical age. 80 population heroic age would have been really good because that's what Matreiuss did. You have to remember Matreiuss goes 80 population heroic age.
Yeah, totally. And in my opinion, Eric again overcommitted in the classical age. He stayed too long there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a textbook game here from Matreiuss. He really played around these walls that Eric built correctly, but this is something that I think is it's a way to think when you're creating strategies, because this is something I haven't really seen before. Is like the early walls from Eric, and it feels to me like Eric is remembering all the games he's played against Loki where he gets raided into the ground, and he wanted to cut that out. So he's like, all right, I'm going to build walls. But when he does that, he's not thinking about the overall picture, and he's just saying, this is a weakness, let me try and cover that weakness. But when you do that, then your different weakness opens up. So you have to, like you say with Matreiuss, where he does something and then he does something else to keep on piling on the pressure. You have to do the same thing with strategy, where you say, I'm going to do this one thing, but this changes this other thing, so then I have to do this thing and this thing and this thing, and everything kind of changed. The game looks very different than normal.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, but if you're going to overcommit on walls and spend all that gold on closing your base, then at the same time you shouldn't do mistakes. As you can see, Matreiuss abused some small gaps, and he still managed to get through Eric's base, and that was a disaster in my opinion. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, it wasn't a huge raid by Matreiuss, but at least he distracted Eric enough to get to the heroic age and make battle boards and take the town center.
Yeah, I think that this kind of strategy might be a little bit better on maps like Watering Hole or Marsh, where it's a little bit easier to wall up, a little bit easier to get that second gold mine, and definitely focusing on an earlier heroic age is probably a way forward for Zeus players if they're struggling to find wins with just the standard Athena rush.
Yeah, okay, yeah, surely.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a good
Okay,
game.
so
GG.
yeah, are we having a game 3?
I don't know. We'll have a look.